All right, we have a bank features a savings account that has an annual percentage rate of 5.2% with interest compounded semi-annually, which this means twice a year, right? Semi-annually. Luther deposits $9,500 into the account. So we have this exponential formula, which I'm going to kind of rewrite it down here because I would like to put some stuff on it. P1 plus R over N T. So if this is the first time you've seen this formula, there's, some different pieces here. The function is looking at future value. So in other words, if he deposits this and makes this investment, what in the future amount would he have? The P, typically you hear it called present value. And then the T here and here, this is very important that it's always in years. Oops. So that's in years. And then the rate, which typically is given in years, that's what annual means. And then the N is the number of times compounded a year. So everything's put in terms of years. All right, so we got everything that we need here. So in this case, in my problem, I can get my problem to, my problem is I can't get my pencil to work. Okay, so in this case, my P here, so let's rewrite this as a formula. So S of T equals, my P is 9,500. I'm going to write, well, we'll just start with that. So my 9,500 is my P. I'm going to do this, and then I'll write it out here in a second. So this is my P, my present value. My R is 5.2%, and we like to write that as a decimal. So remember, you move your decimal 2 places to the left. I'm sorry, my decimal is hanging up in the air. And then N, semi-annually, would equal 2. So let's say that I'm asked to find the future value after 10 year. So I just start plugging everything in. I have 9,500. I have 1 plus my rate 0.052, the number of times compounded 2, and then 2 times 10. Right? Where'd the 10 come from? 10 years. So I want to know after 10 years how much money is in this account. Now, you want to be careful. I mean, if you have a fancy dancy calculator, you might can do this in all one step, but I'm going to write it out in case you might be getting incorrect answers. So 2 times 10, 20th power. And then this would be 9,500. And you always want to keep as many decimals as your calculator will keep. It might seem extreme, but we don't want to round wrong with any sense. And so when I multiply this out, I get 15,873 and 43 cents. So in other words, this is saying if this person puts 9,500 into this account based on the interest rate, that's how much they would earn after 10 years. All right, and then the next part, it asks you about the annual percentage yield, and this is the formula for it. So it's pretty straightforward, just the 1 plus my R, which is 0.052 divided by 2. Now, oops, I said 2, but I wrote an N because I was looking at that N up in the air. And then this is 2 minus 1. Well, if you remember up above, I calculated this, right? 26, and I get 1.052676 minus 1, which gives me 0.052676. If I move that decimal 2 places to turn this to a percentage, and I'm even going to round this to 3 decimal places. This tells me my annual percentage yield.